I guess this is the last chance to make a Harry Potter video pre-Harry Potter, so I'm doing what everybody else is doing and jumping on the PJ bandwagon and answering, the real questions in life. For example, what house would I be in? I think I'd be a Gryffindor, and I know that that's cheesy. I almost feel like it's pretentious to be like, yeah, I'm a Gryffindor. Well, but the only reason I say it is because of process of elimination, I guess. Like, I don't think I'd be a Slytherin or a Hufflepuff. Definitely wouldn't be a Ravenclaw. And so I just feel like Gryffindor's the one left. Not that I'm particularly brave, but I am loyal, and I don't know, I feel like I would be a Gryffindor. I think if Ron Weasley's a Gryffindor, I feel like I'd make it. My Patronus, I'm just going to say it and not give any reasons why, but it's a panda bear. So my Patronus would probably be a YouTube sensation, more than likely. Favorite subject would be charms, and only because I feel like it would be the most useful in day-to-day life, and it would be the one that I could have the most fun with. Like, Defense Against the Dark Arts would be really cool, and Potions would be really cool, but as far as day-to-day activity goes, I think the most useful and the most fun would be charms. So me and Flitwick would be getting along. Favorite place? This one's hard for me, because as far as sentimentality goes, I think everybody would go with the Burrow. I'd say most people would go with the Burrow, just because that's where all these intimate moments happen that, matter. But the place that I'd actually want to go if I lived in the Harry Potter universe would either be Hogsmeade or Diagon Alley. Because I feel like Diagon Alley would actually be sentimental too, in that, like, you could go get a wand from Ollivander, and that's where, everything kind of started with all of that, and they have a bookstore, and it'd be awesome to go into Weasley's Wizardly Wheezes and pick up some you-know-poo. I feel like Diagon Alley would be really cool, but I mean, then again, like, all the shops and stuff in Hogsmeade would be awesome. So, as far as places I actually want to go, it'd be those two. Favorite line is got to be, just because there's so much excitement involved with it, favorite line is easily, oh gosh, how does it go? Shoot. Oh, okay. The Ministry has fallen, Scrimgeour is dead, they are coming, which was at the wedding, obviously, when the Kingsley's Patronus shows up. But the only reason that I say that is because, like, everything had been so calm, and you'd kind of been lulled into this false sense of security of, it was the calm before the storm. This war is going on, but you just feel so comfortable because you're at the Burrow, and there's this wedding going on, and then there's this just huge oh shit moment, and you realize what's happening, and it's just so exciting in that moment to think, alright, this is actually starting, this is where it all begins, this is where, like, the final chapter of this whole story begins, is right here at this moment. And I think that line was just perfect. It just portrayed exactly, from being this false sense of security, just going straight into, fuck. So, favorite overall moment. Oh gosh, this is tough. I've got a lot of them, so it's just so hard to choose one. In all honesty, my favorite overall moment was in the third book, I think. It was that just the kind of the twist of learning that, like, Sirius, not only is he good, but he's Harry's godfather, and that he's been fighting for him the whole time, and that Peter Pettigrew was Scabbers. Because I remember being, like, such a huge moment for me, because up until that point, the books hadn't really been connected as one. Like, you didn't realize that from book one she had been planning all 7 books. Like book 1 and book 2 stood on their own very individually, and then when you learn that Scabbers, the rat that has been there from the very beginning with a missing, who's always had this missing toe, that you realize that it's all been connected from the very beginning, that she had planned, that Scabbers had. And for me, it was like the moment that I realized, okay, all 7 of these books are somehow going to be connected, and it's not just these individual stories of Harry's adventures, it's one long story that just spans 7 years. And I remember that being just such a revealing moment for me, and I was so excited about the next books because I realized that it's, it's just this long story, not these individual things. So I loved that whole scene in the Shrieking Shack where Loomis and Peter Pettigrew and Harry, obviously, and Hermione and Sirius are all there, and it's just, I don't know, it was so cool for me. Just realizing how that was so cool. And favorite character finally it's gotta be Dobby. I mean, I know Dumbledore's BA. I know that, I'm sorry if I could talk. That Luna is such an awesome character, but Dobby is so amazing. Just because he represents everything that is, like, loyal and, like, for me, he kind of represents the trio's friendship to each other. Just that undying loyalty to Harry, I think is so fantastic, even up to his last moments. And the scene where Harry's burying him and he's crying, and here lies a free elf. It's such, like, a death of innocence. And it's kind of like when you realize that these 3 have officially lost everything that ties them to their innocence is kind of lost when Dobby dies. And it's such a beautiful moment. And that's like one of the things that I was so worried the movies were going to mess up was Dobby's death, and they did such a good job in portraying like what it was. And I don't know, I just loved that. And yeah, so Dobby's got to be my favorite character. I love him. I love his innocence. I love his loyalty. And yeah, so Harry Potter in a couple days. I have a plane to catch. I'll see you, Pie, very soon.